All right, everybody. Joining me now, DJ, actress, and of course,
Mm.
musician, Sundarri. How are you doing?
Hello, thank you so much for having me. I'm doing
So,
well.
so I'm gonna throw myself under the bus like I do every time I mess up. So it's a tradition for me. So I got the time wrong, and
Hey, it
on
was actually
air,
my fault. It was actually my fault because you put
for some
Eastern
reason, I thought you were in
and
Orlando
I
or something. I don't
just,
know.
well, I mean, maybe I give East Coast vibes because I am from South Carolina, so you weren't too far off, but
What part?
live Greenville.
Okay, I've been to Florence. Just stopped by.
Okay, Florence,
Yeah,
nice.
like that's near like Myrtle Beach, I think. But
Yeah.
yeah. All right, so introduce yourself. You're from South Carolina, I think, right? So how long you been in music and yeah, let's go from there.
All right, yeah. So I am from South Carolina originally. From South Carolina, I moved to New York, from New York to LA, and then made my way down to San Diego, which is where I'm currently living. I just got back from the beach. It was so nice out there. Like still wearing my bathing suit. It's such an amazing like way of life. I'm sure you get some of that in Florida as well, but
Yeah, I'm from
um
Orlando.
okay, so
So
you
like
guys have
Daytona
what, like
Beach.
co okay, like Cocoa Beach?
That's actually I say Orlando because if I say
Yeah,
Titusville, a lot of people don't know where that is.
right.
So I say Orlando, but my hometown is Titusville, which is where NASA is, like the Space Center.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
so they call that the Space Coast.
Yeah, I
So
have
it's like
family
it's
who
like
lives over
Daytona
there.
Beach, Cocoa Beach,
Mm-hmm.
and they have like Ron John's over there, surf shop. So yeah, I'm
Mm-hmm.
I'm familiar with the beach life. I understand.
Yeah. Yeah, so San Diego's been really nice. From It's definitely been a change of pace. I lived in LA for 5 years and was pursuing acting and music out there. And then before that, I lived in New York and was going to an acting school in New York. So, yeah, just been living in all the hot spots. I still haven't gotten to live in Miami yet, but that's definitely on my list. I love Miami.
You strike me as a like beach person. And like you what's your like type of genre, like music wise? Like are you because a lot of the songs that a couple of the songs I listen to, Free Throw and Lose
Not free
Myself.
throw. Oh my
What's
gosh,
wrong with that?
those are the two you listen to?
Those are like
Oh
slow,
my
but
gosh,
I like the
those are my
vibes of them.
that was my first two songs that I ever
I
made.
mean, when I listen, Sundari, when I go on YouTube and I see 5.5K views, I mean, I just hit the popular button and I click
Right. I
the
guess that's a good
top
point.
two.
That kind of makes sense. That's probably what a lot of people do. They probably just go to the most
That's what
popular
I do
video.
for these artists. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I'll just go to their top two or three and you know.
Yeah, that reminds me, I should probably put more of my other music on my channel because I just have like some of my old stuff on there. But yeah, Free Throw is cool. Lose Myself. I've definitely grown a lot as an artist since
So what was
then.
that, 4 years ago or something like that I saw?
It was probably, I wrote and produced those songs with a producer in 2019. So that's 5 years that I've been doing this whole music thing. And yeah, I've done two albums since then. One was a breakup
Mhm.
album, and then the other one was more of like a spiritual album.
That's what I got from it. I got like relationship and kind of deep deep thinking stuff, makes you think. I like music like that.
Totally. Yeah,
What
yeah.
would you classify the genre as?
Well, you know what's interesting on Spotify, they have me listed as new age, which which is interesting, but I think it's
New
because
age?
new age, yeah.
I I've I can count on one hand how many times I've heard that. as a genre.
Yeah, so I guess it's a new genre that's newer, I guess. It's not like a
I mean,
traditional
it's in the
genre.
term, so
Yeah.
it makes sense.
Yeah, so they have me grouped with like healing frequencies and sound bowls. And I mean, I'm not really that kind of, I had
Yeah,
a
but you're
couple.
like, aren't you doing like EDM and stuff now? Like DJ, like what's your
Yeah,
DJ name? What's your DJ name?
my DJ name is DJ Sunny D.
Okay.
DJ Sunny D. Yeah. Yeah, that's been
I should
fun.
in post edit, I should put like one of those free,
Hey.
one of those like make sure it's free, royalty free. I should
Totally.
put one of
Yeah.
those like EDM
What
like
like the
sounds.
oh I hear what you're putting down for sure.
Like the free sound. Well, TikTok used to do just like the free stuff, but now TikTok is getting letting you use actual songs. Did you know that?
I didn't know. Oh,
Yeah.
really? So like as far as like doing a DJ set, you can use
No. I'm talking about like with TikTok reels and stuff.
Oh, okay. I
Like
was
they're
thinking you
letting.
meant like going live on TikTok
I
because I've been
mean,
wanting to go live on TikTok and DJ for a while, but I've heard that there's certain copyright issues with songs that you play, and sometimes you can get banned if
really?
it's a popular song with DJing, but still worth a shot.
Yeah. Have you seen the I forgot what streaming service it's on, but there's a documentary that just came out to like it's I don't know if you remember, but like LimeWire and stuff like
I
that.
do. Yeah, I remember
Yeah, like
LimeWire
yeah, I'm old, so I remember all that. Not that I ever partook, is that the word? In that,
and
but
LimeWire.
I'm just saying, maybe I did or two.
Yeah, LimeWire was cool.
I was a big 50 guy. Like
Mm,
50 was my guy. 50 Cent.
okay.
Yeah. So not that I'm saying I ever did that, but if I did,
Right.
it
Yeah.
was get rich or die trying. That's
I
what it
mean,
was.
I would do like the YouTube to MP3. I don't know if you like that's more of like
Yeah. I know what you're
the
talking about.
the
I do
you
that for this. Hold on. I do this for this podcast.
Oh, you
I'll,
do?
yeah, I'll upload it. I'll upload it on YouTube,
Yeah.
and then it's called like
YouTube
YTTP
yeah. YouTube to MP3
something
converter.
3.
Yeah, totally.
I don't know if I should be admitting this. Eh.
Hey, I mean, I use it to get like underground music for DJ sets because there's stuff on YouTube that
What do you mean? You put the YouTube video on and then you
no, there's like really cool underground
by the way, this is
mixes.
Coke, by the way. I'm just,
Oh, it looks like
no, it's not.
whiskey. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
it's whiskey. It's whiskey.
cheers. I have a Olipop, not sponsored by Olipop, but you should.
No, it's on the rocks. But go ahead, finish what you were saying.
Yeah, no, I was just saying that there's mixes of songs on YouTube that you can't find on Spotify or Apple Music or Beat Source. So sometimes I will use, yeah, I don't know if I should admit this, but YouTube to MP3. If it's a song that doesn't exist
I
anywhere
don't have
else,
a lot of viewership. Don't worry about it.
okay.
But no, it's okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I get that. I get that. So talk about these moves. Why were you moving from like coast to
place
coast?
to
Was it
place.
just like, yeah, was it just like, hey, I'm living my best life, type vibes?
Yeah. So I would say, hmm, that's a good question. Let me think about it. I would say honestly from New York to LA, I moved because of a guy, which probably wasn't the
Oh, I hear that.
smartest idea, but we were super toxic and we thought that our problems would go away when we moved to Los Angeles. Didn't get any better, surprise. And we ended up breaking up within a couple months of us living there. And then I just stayed in LA because I still wanted to pursue acting. And
Mm,
the reason why I actually found my way to music specifically, though, was because I was going through a lot of heartbreak, and music was kind of like my channel to process all of the heartbreak that I was going through, one, and then I also went no contact with this ex, and we weren't talking at all. So it was like, if I can't say what I need to say to you, then I'm gonna say it on a song, and I'm gonna call you out.
Isn't that what like Taylor? Isn't that what Taylor Swift did?
I
And
mean,
like,
hey, it's like, look, I wanted to have a conversation, but you don't want to have a conversation. So I'm just gonna, I have to put it somewhere. I have to tell someone. So, I just made songs out of it. So that was my
yeah,
first album. That was a
that's
breakup album.
that's a common thing,
Totally. Yeah, absolutely. Not the only one who's done that for sure.
Old as time,
Yeah, yeah, but
I mean, Britney Spears did it like 30 years ago, So,
yeah, that was a
maybe
really
not 30, but well, maybe. Damn, she's been around a
30
while.
years ago. Oh my
I think
gosh, that's
so.
crazy.
She was in the she started like in the 90s.
Oh wow, the 90s was 30 years ago?
Uh,
No, the
90, yeah,
70s
94.
was 30 years ago.
Yeah, I know. But no, I get what you're saying. How about acting? What was How did you get your first opportunity? Or what was your first opportunity?
Yeah, yeah. So from New York, I graduated school. So I did like a 2-year program in New York, mostly for theater acting, which is a lot more intense than just, film acting. But I went to LA and then I started doing like commercials and just kind of like little things here and there. And then I would probably say things kind of really started to pick up in 2021. And that was when I booked um, like a pretty big show and then became SAG and like all of that happened. Like, so that was a great year. And then since then, I've just kind of been, it's kind of a long story, but I guess we have time.
Nope.
But
Oh
um,
yeah, I got it. Hey,
we have time.
however long you want to talk. Well, I've had interviews go an hour. The last one I did.
Okay. Yeah, so I basically, long story short, and I've told other people on podcasts that I've done this story of just, and I won't go too much in detail, but let's just say that there was contracts presented and things presented by the manager that I was with that I wasn't comfortable with. And I just decided to fire him and part ways. And after that, I found a new manager, which she's been really cool. And um, but that was like a really crazy moment for me because I realized that everything that you hear about Hollywood is absolutely true of like selling your soul and like you have to do X, Y, and Z to make it in the industry, you
Mm.
know? Where it seems like people blow up overnight, like a lot of times they did something to get there,
I don't know. What's that one? What's that one song that literally just blew up on TikTok?
which
I
so
forgot the
many
name.
blow up on TikTok so quickly.
Party Girl. You should
Oh, I
look
think
that
I
one
know what
up.
you're talking about. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like
So many.
some no name
Well,
guy.
totally. Well, that's what I was gonna say. Now TikTok is changing the game for sure. Like it doesn't have to be like that now because thank God we're able to kind of take matters into our own hands. And people like that try to exploit young actors who are just trying to get their big break have less and less power because we're taking the power into our own hands, kind of like what you were saying earlier about people turning down labels and stuff because they don't get to keep all of their masters, you
I'm gonna
know?
ask you the stereotypical question. So, any interest or communication with AGT, The Voice, Idol, any of that stuff?
I never was, I remember when I first moved to LA, I had an opportunity to go on American Idol, but I never was drawn to the competition shows. I don't know why. I never was like, oh, this is my path. Um, but yeah, that was for Idol, and that was when I first moved to LA. So that was probably
Did you start did
2018.
you actually go to the original audition? Because I know there's like three before the actual one.
Yeah, yeah, I did. I was in Santa Barbara. I actually met some really cool people there that I still connect with on Instagram now. And yeah, it was an interesting experience, you know. I think I definitely didn't know what I know now about music. I was very young and just naive and hadn't even started performing yet. Like performing live with my band is like my bread and butter. Like
Did
I
they find
love,
you or did you apply? Did you like apply or whatever? Did they find you?
they found me, yeah, and then they invited me to come out and yeah, it was just kind of like it
Some people
wasn't,
get found at bars. Like they'll be
yeah.
like, I'm
Oh,
serious.
that's how Lana Del Rey, I'm pretty sure how she got discovered. She was doing open mics in New York and she was just performing as I think her name is Elizabeth Grant, just like plain Jane, and then she turned into this icon, Lana Del Rey. So obviously someone had a vision for her, or she had the vision for herself,
Mm,
her marketing team, or just like branding team. Like that's amazing because she's a whole vibe,
yeah.
iconic.
Um, yeah, so okay, so what'd you do
I feel
after
like we're
LA?
going all over the timeline here. We're not, but I guess it's no big deal. We're getting the Cliff's notes.
Okay. Well, get us back on track, okay? What'd you do after LA?
Well, my life's been pretty chaotic, so so after LA or
Yeah,
New
because we were
York.
talking. Well, what was first? What was first?
So I think we were at the point where I said, you know, I was in LA, I was pursuing acting, got some offers that I wasn't comfortable
Yeah.
with. I said I wasn't going to sell my soul for the industry. And then eventually fired my manager and got with another
Hmm.
manager, which I'm still auditioning frequently and doing all that. But I think I've probably shifted my focus now more towards music because since I've moved down to San Diego, the live music scene out here in San Diego is really cool. And in LA, there's a lot of like pay to play and like same thing, people trying to take advantage of young artists that are just trying to get their big break and they'll pay it. If they're like, "Oh, you have to pay 300 to play," and all they want is a stage, like they don't know any better and they'll pay the money.
So I have a story that I've told a couple times about this.
Hmm.
So I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but I'm old enough to tell you a story from 2000, let's see, 9.
Okay.
So I was at some house party and I don't know if he was being like facetious or hyperbolic or whatever, but he said that it, a buddy dropped, you know, 5 figures for like to get seen. I'm like,
What?
yeah, you know.
Well, did it
So
work or?
I mean, I think he got his song through, but like he was I think his point was that you can't you can't do nothing without like at least a grand or whatever was his statement. Like it's a grand just to get seen. That was what he said.
Where is this at?
This was like in Orlando.
Bro, the one thing that they teach you about
I'm serious. It was like
the one thing they teach you in the entertainment industry is if you have to pay for something, it's not legit. Like if an agency says you have to pay for them to put you on their roster, then it's a scam. Like anything that you should never have to pay to get seen. Like obviously
I think he was being facetious.
I was
But
gonna say, because investing in your craft is one thing. Like investing in making music and making content and all of that. Like I guess in a sense you are, that is coming out of your pocket, but I just mean the false promises, and I've heard it all. Like you hear it all in LA of
people
like,
are fake and then they try
oh
to get
my
they
gosh, people are like, yeah, I'm like Whitney Houston's cousin and like I can get your album out there
do
and
they
blah blah
use
blah.
alcohol? Do they use alcohol as like buy drinks and stuff?
What
Like
do you
at
mean, like
bars?
at the shows?
Yeah, yeah. Like I've heard one person say that, oh, they try to like wine and dine and like,
Mm.
you know what I mean?
Oh,
You
I
ever
see
heard
what
of
you're
something
saying.
like that?
Yeah. Yeah, it
Where they'll
definitely
like go
gets.
on like a fancy dinner and like, I'm serious.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, yeah, that's part of it too. It's just people trying to manipulate artists that just they're desperate. They'll do anything. I mean, there's some people in LA that I know are well into their 40s, almost in their 50s, that were still waiting for their big break. Like they've been in LA since they were in their early 20s and
Hmm.
they're still like, I'm just here waiting. Like it's coming any day now. And think about how many people, like everybody goes to LA to like chase their
And
dreams. I mean,
Nashville. And Nashville.
Nashville, yeah, Miami too, Atlanta,
I've interviewed a lot
New
of
York.
Nashville artists because I got in with these I got in with a couple agencies, and
Hmm.
then they'll refer me their artists.
Oh,
So
that's awesome. Yeah.
yeah, so that's kind of how I got to like the independent kind of interviewing
Oh,
independent artists,
music.
is because I got in
Oh, that's
through
cool.
a couple agencies, and it's just for, free.
Hmm.
Just they'll write up write up a thing
Mm.
like a PDF, or not even a PDF, just like straight up, just like Excel almost. Just like they're not, you know what I'm saying, like Word.
Hmm.
But yeah, so that's how I got into all this. Like originally this was like a comedy podcast. And then
Hmm.
I was like, I found out I was, this may come across as cocky or anything, but I found out I was a decent interviewer. And then like those were getting like my best downloads. So I was just like,
Mm.
screw it. I'm just gonna like interview independent artists and like
Yeah. Hey,
and
sometimes you gotta pivot. Sometimes you don't know how it's gonna go, but you just have to follow what's working, you know?
yeah, I mean, it's just whatever. Like I've made nickel and dime off this thing, but it's
Hmm.
not even about that. It's so hard. The podcast game is like
Oh
is
my
as hard,
gosh.
if not harder, than getting seen in music.
Yep, yep.
Like
Such an
like on
oversaturated
YouTube,
market.
huh?
I just said it's such an oversaturated market. It's just because everybody is, and their mom is like, "Oh, I'm making a podcast." I think even I
Which
considered it. I I was like, "Should I make a podcast?" But it wouldn't be for like any type of. But I know how I am, and I struggle with just doing things for fun. Like even
mhm.
with DJing, I was like, "I'm only doing this for fun," and then it became this like. Then I was like, oh, like, no, I want to get paid for this. I want to do actual gigs. And it's just
Oh
like,
man.
why does everything have to be
You ever been
professional?
to Sundar? You ever been into like a DJ night, like a DJ set at a bar?
Yeah, I
Like
have.
I lived in Virginia for a while, and there were literally like 10 DJs in a row, just one
Mm-hmm.
after
Back to
another
back,
after
yeah.
another after another. And there was no lyrics or nothing. It was just people
This
like,
is
no, like people were on either drugs
right.
or, well, drugs, alcohol, like people were on like some, not like super heavy, but like
Yeah, like Molly, shrooms.
no, like more than that.
Oh,
Like,
wow. What's
yeah,
more
not
than
me, but
that?
I mean,
Heroin?
no, no, no,
Fentanyl?
like Coke, like,
Oh, okay.
you know what I'm saying? But like, I've never done Coke, but no,
Well, that
but
makes one of us.
no, I've stopped at Mary Jane. Okay.
Nice. Good for you. I love that for you.
I used to hotbox, but
Okay.
I don't
I
know if
let
you want to talk about drugs on this
Yeah.
show.
Let's just say I had a I had a crazy
You ever
teenage
heard of
year.
Salvia?
Mm-mm.
So you're speaking of Miami earlier, and you heard of the Ultra Festival? A lot of people have.
Yeah, yeah.
I
It's
had
a
a
cool
buddy
one.
that went every year. He's from Orlando, so he would go on 95.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just tell you this. He doesn't usually he didn't remember the 2 days. He
Mm-hmm.
remembers going, but he doesn't remember like anything because they're all like on some sort of,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
that crazy? Wow, he doesn't remember the 2 days. That's wild.
Because they're tripped out on legal
Wow.
stuff.
Legal things. All the legal
Well, I
things.
mean, they're plants, a lot of them. But
That is true.
yeah, let's change to
Subject.
what's this chill mix with a what is it? Sunset vibe? Is that what you were talking about?
Oh, chill
Yeah, I
mix
did
with
my
the
research. I did my research.
No, I just started posting like
But you're not
little
impressed by my research, my research
I was
skills?
like, oh wow, he went deep. He's just like the
Well,
last
I
thing.
just saw your I just saw your channel. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I just started for fun posting some of like I just like to play music for people. So I was like, I'm just gonna like play music that I like and then I'm gonna just post little mixes on YouTube. Why not? So I
I
just
mean, it's the
started
power of
doing
the
that.
internet.
Yeah, totally. So I just started doing that like a little bit ago, but that's literally just for fun. Like I don't care if nobody ever sees that.
I
Actually, I
mean,
hope nobody ever does. No, I'm just kidding.
you know how it is. Once it's on the internet, that's it. It's
Everybody, yeah, see, I struggle with that a lot. Like I am so scared of being seen. I don't know why. I don't know like what the deal is, but it's just like posting myself is so hard for me. It's definitely something I'm trying to figure out
well, I
and
appreciate you doing this.
yeah, yeah.
Even though
See, this is easy.
we're jumping all over the place.
Yeah,
My
totally.
my cat's investigating whether to make an
Oh,
appearance. Yeah, she's like 2,
oh,
almost 2.
cute.
She's a
Yeah,
hold on. You wanna see her? Hold on. Let me see if I
sure.
can't. I don't know where oh, she went away.
Oh,
Uh
that's
sometimes she makes appearances.
yeah.
She she's crazy. She's got like that's the thing. I could go on a diatribe about adoption services too. I'm not a
Mm,
fan. Like I adopted her, but like I'm not a fan of some of the tactics they do. But
mm-hmm.
yeah, so it's just society, it's slimy people.
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
But then
absolutely.
as many slimy people, they're good people,
That's
you
true.
know.
Yeah, yeah. If there's darkness, then there definitely has to be light. It's the law of duality. We have to have both, you know? So I guess that makes sense.
So what was life in South Carolina like? Let's go back. Let's
Oh,
go back
wow.
to the
We're
start.
really
Let's
taking
go
it
back
back.
to the start.
Okay. Life in South Carolina. So not much going on. Let's just say that. I have about four, yeah, I have four brothers and sisters. So I have a pretty big family, but they're all younger than me. I was the youngest. So a lot of responsibility, I would say, as the oldest. I'm always just having to kind of be like a role model for my siblings, and I wanted to show them that they can go and live wherever they want at as soon as they turn 18, which is what I did. They can move wherever they want. They can chase their dreams and make whatever they want to happen. So that's why I decided to move to New York too. Is like I always have to take into consideration, like in my mind when I'm thinking about doing something, I'm like, is this someone that my siblings can be proud of? You know, that they can look at my life and be like, oh wow, my sister, like she's doing all these amazing things and I can do
Getting
that too.
5.5K views and
Yeah, yeah. And definitely kind of getting more into activism these days, which has been really cool. I founded this nonprofit organization.
I'm a social worker. So you
Are you?
speaking, yeah, yeah, I'm a
Nice.
social
Yeah.
worker.
Founded the nonprofit to work with people in recovery, but to offer holistic services like breath work and yoga and like all of that.
Hmm.
So that we founded that in August and kind of what you were saying earlier about your podcast, how it kind of took a different direction. That was kind of like with the nonprofit. I knew that I wanted to open a wellness center, but I didn't know which direction or how I was going to take it. But then I experienced a pretty big tragedy in my family due to alcohol, like alcoholism. And then after that, I just was like, I want to help. So I ended up founding the nonprofit. So that's been kind of crazy. I haven't had a whole lot of time for acting and music and DJing
Do
as
you
much
founded
as,
one? You're currently like that's currently what you work on?
yeah, yeah. So I quit my job
What's the name
and
of it?
it's called Soma Wellness, like Soma Wellness. And
Is
then we're
this
planning.
is this in line with the House of Soma? Is that all?
Yes, yes, that's where we're at. So
Go ahead,
I
promote that. Promote it away. When
yeah,
is that?
that's a good idea. Yeah, so this is our first big fundraiser for the nonprofit. It's called House of Soma. It's a 2-day music festival. So it is kind of cool how I've been able to
Mommy Blush will be there, right? Is that
she
what
will. Yeah,
I'm
Mommy
a
Blush
fan.
will be performing and she'll be performing with her band as
How do you know
well.
her? How did you meet her?
So her and I have the same music manager in San Diego. So we connected through, I think I actually met her before we were under the same management, but we met at, I think, a spiritual event, like a breath work or something. And
Did she tell you she was on this podcast?
I don't know if she mentioned it to me, but her and I, we're getting closer now. We're still like getting to know each other, but I would say we're definitely getting close now
You
because
should
she's
tell her you were on the show. She'll
I'm
be
definitely gonna tell her for sure, and she's been helping a lot with House of Soma, so it's cool to get closer to her. Her
How
and I
many
have been
artists are going to be on? How many artists are going to be featured?
so it'll be about 30 artists in total. So it's gonna be a lot of music for 2 days. A lot of
And
DJs.
tickets? Where can people get tickets?
Oh
Or
yeah, you're right. Yeah, so people can go to our website at healwithsoma.com and find tickets there. And yeah, there's 2-day tickets, or if you just want to come out for a day, you can do that as well.
there'll be vendors, food,
Vendors, food vendors, people selling all their cool crafts and
this
art.
stuff.
What is
Will there be
that?
this?
There'll
Well, no,
be
I'm saying, will there be whiskey available or alcohol available?
so there'll be non-alcoholic beverages
Oh,
available, and
they could
yeah,
just take a shot before they go.
yeah, something like that. But yeah, we're trying to keep it clean. We're trying to keep the
Oh, I'm
vibes.
a bad influence. I'm sorry. I
We're
shouldn't
trying
be.
to
I
keep
shouldn't be.
pure vibes for this one, but
I
um
apologize. I shouldn't. I shouldn't have brought that up.
no, that's okay. No worries. Yeah, it
But
was
that's
also
cool.
too because we wanted people that are in recovery to feel like they're not being excluded or alienated as well. So
Yeah. Okay. Well, I hope it goes well, and everyone should check that out.
definitely,
Um,
yeah, absolutely.
you're talking about, you've been to LA, New York, San Diego. Did you say you've been to Miami?
Not yet. I was saying that
You,
Miami is definitely on my
on
list.
the list. Okay.
I spent some time there, but I haven't lived there. I would like
So
to
you
live
must
there at some
have
point.
a fun story to share about the music industry.
A fun story to share about the
It
music industry. I have like I have like
just pick
traumatic
pick one.
stories.
You can just pick
But
one, or no, you don't have to if you don't want to. But I'm just
no,
saying, do you have
let me think
something
about
fun
it.
to
Let me
share?
about the
I didn't mean to
music
put you on the
industry.
spot.
A fun story to share about the
Like
music.
something that you experienced or whatever.
Hmm.
Well, maybe we'll revisit that one. I don't
We
want to.
can circle back. We can circle back because I'll be
That was a
I'll
loaded question.
marinate. I know I'll marinate on that because I'm like a fun story to share. I mean, music is has been really beautiful. I love connecting with music, and um I really thrive in environments where I can just be creative, and I don't have really any deadlines around being in the studio, where I can just kind of like free flow. There's a studio up in Topanga that I really like, that Topanga Canyon. It's like this woodsy, foresty area right outside of LA, and there's no cell phone service. It's there's a hiking trail, and you can just go up there and you can spend the entire day just in flow and creating, instead of there being like, oh, we have to like meet this deadline and this has to be done, and oh my gosh, we haven't even laid down the vocals. It's more so just like the creative process, instead of like these deadlines and we only have 2 hours and all this rushing, and you get to kind of go out of the city a little bit
Hmm.
and just kind of record whatever comes up, which my meditation tracks that I kind of mentioned earlier is which is probably why I'm classified as new age on Spotify. I recorded those in the mountains of Topanga. So
Wow.
yeah, I like making music like that because it seems like the core of music, instead of this like, you know, cut and dry. Like some producers I've worked with, and the songs come out great. I mean, one of that I've made with this producer that I'm talking about specifically is called Familiar Eyes. I definitely recommend listening to that one. It's one of my favorite songs I've ever made. But he made that song in 2 hours, and it's like I call it the McDonald's of audio production, because it's
Well,
like
McDonald's now has a $5 meal. I'm serious.
Hey, but it's
So,
like McDonald's is fire, but it's just so fast. Like it's so quick. Like it's like going through the drive-through and you come out with a song. But it sounds great. So he's good at what he does, but I also do like having the balance with the experience of going out to the woods and just like having a full day in the studio where I just kind of get to vibe, and if I feel like recording something, I can just do it and we can lay it down, and instead of the machine of
so
music.
would you be against like signing with a major label?
That's a
Would
good
you
question.
would you take an offer?
It depends. I think I've been around the block enough to be able to spot certain things. I've almost been taken advantage of in this industry a lot at this point. I've It depends on the legitimacy of what the contract is, and I would have to just be really careful and just make sure everything checks out, and because I definitely have to cover my bases. But as long as everything checked out, I wouldn't be opposed. I mean, as I think one of the biggest hurdles for me in music has been artist development and figuring
Right.
out
And
my
they own they
brand.
they own
They,
you essentially once you sign,
right,
right?
that is true. Yeah, but I would say they could maybe with their resources, they could help me find a niche, because my energy is like all over the place. I love all genres of music. That's why Spotify probably can't classify me, because I love rock, I love country, I love
Hey,
R&B,
I'm a
I
rock
love
guy.
jazz. Yeah, totally. Like I love all genres, so it's hard for me to commit to, oh, I'm an R&B artist or a pop artist, or but maybe
What
they
about
would
rap?
help. Rap is cool. Yeah, I like rap too. I mean, I've done like some little, not, you can't even really call it rap, but it's more so like speaking verses on some of my songs. Nothing crazy, but yeah, I would say maybe if I found, or if I connected with a
Like
record label.
acapella or like straight up freestyle?
No, well, there is one song that I freestyled, but I just had, oh, hey, I think we're coming back to the fun music story, actually.
I feel like this interview has been like a NASCAR race.
I
Just
know.
like
I know. Hey, it's probably me, honestly, because I'm like,
no, part of it's me.
I'm an air sign, so
Well,
I'm just like
it's
in the
10:45.
clouds.
It's 10:45 my time, so
Okay.
you know.
Yeah, I think we're yeah, but the fun music story, actually, the last one of the songs that I did that was a freestyle, I had nothing written for it, but the producer was like, just go in and record something on this beat because the beat was cool. I had just eaten a chicken sandwich and like swear I like still had some like in my mouth as I was singing
Was
it,
it
but
Popeyes?
no.
Oh,
No, it was like some like bougie like chicken sandwich spot in
mm.
LA. Um, but yeah, it was probably Popeyes was better, honestly. But then I just went in the booth and recorded it, and it's a really cool song. I think it turned out cool. I mean, it's kind of like there's not a whole lot to it. It's mostly just like the same four lines over and over again, but the beat is fire.
What was the name of
But
that? Was it one of the?
so that one's called High Fashion. High
Okay.
Fashion, yeah. I'm actually gonna be performing that song for the first time this weekend. Because I haven't performed any of my hip hop songs because usually when I'm performing it's with a full band. I have a five-piece band that is I have like a saxophone player, pianist, guitarist,
Mhm.
bassist, and a drummer and me. So that's really fun. I love performing with them, but I don't do my hip hop stuff with them. We kind of just do like more of my slower, um,
Mhm.
jazzy kind of stuff, and we make it our own rendition. But
I have a few more questions if that's okay.
of course, yeah.
Um, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Like
All
musically
right.
speaking,
Okay.
or DJ or whatever. What do you see
Okay.
yourself doing?
Well, yeah, this is something that I'm trying to figure out for myself, so we're gonna figure it out together.
2029.
2029. So in 2029, I will have booked definitely at least a few movies and TV shows. Definitely want to get on some more streaming service series and stuff like that. There's more that I want to do in acting. I'm doing a lot of theater right now, so I would like to do more film and television.
What
So
about
I'm trying,
reality TV? Would you ever do reality TV?
no, no.
I'm serious. That's a
Reality TV is not for me. I mean, I remember at my acting school, me and my ex, we actually did this reality TV show. Like it was just a one-off episode, but I remember when his acting teacher found out about it, she talked to him after class and told him that he would be better off selling his sperm than doing reality TV.
like a
Because it
sperm
was
donor.
no, because it was that much of a slap in the face
No,
to
I get
like
it.
the reality of act
No,
or no,
I get
like
it.
the
I get
truth
it.
of acting. Yeah, yeah.
It's
So
it's it's basically saying like snowball's chance.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So as far as music, I definitely want to do a tour. I think a world tour would be amazing. I love performing live, so that's definitely something I want to do. And then Soma is a worldwide organization at this point, touching many lives and healing many people along the way. And yeah, I
Can
would
I
say
can
that
I
sounds like a
give
pretty good life.
can I give you a comparison who you remind me of?
Sure.
Selena Gomez.
Oh, nice. I'll take it. I love her.
It just she does it. She's basically
She does a lot.
actress, she
Yeah.
models. I think she models. I think
Mm-hmm.
so. She does
Mm-hmm.
sings and
She's also an activist as well. Uses her platform to she does a lot of stuff with mental health
mhm.
issues. But yeah, I think if you're gonna, if I have a
You do
platform, I'm
any
gonna
modeling?
little bit, yeah, here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not like
So
crazy about modeling. It's not like
it seems
my
to me like you're gonna go heavy into this DJ thing too.
Oh yeah, the DJing thing. Yeah, like I
Yeah, I
said,
have that. I have
the
that suspicion.
the reason why I didn't even bring it up though was because I told myself I was only gonna do it for fun. So in 5 years, wherever that leads me, that cool, but I'm not gonna like put too
I've
much
had some
pressure on
DJs
it.
on the podcast, couple.
Cool.
Like this guy
Yeah.
out of France. I had this guy out of France
Oh,
on.
that's awesome.
Yeah. So anyways, last question I have. Who who are your musical influences? Like, do you have any that like you grew up listening to or like idolizing?
Yeah, yeah, that's interesting you're asking me this question. This is the second time I've been asked this question today, which is really interesting.
Not for me. This is
Not from
the
you, but from someone else, which is
Oh, you were
so
on a you just did a podcast earlier?
no, but just someone was just like that I was hanging out with just asked me the same question. I was like, that's so weird. Maybe I'm supposed to like look into, you know, what my or think more about what my musical influences are. But yeah, I told them like, Amy Winehouse for sure. I love Amy Winehouse. I feel like she is just so like the soul just comes out in her voice. Like she's very soul artist and like she doesn't care if it sounds crazy. She's just gonna sing her heart out. So I love Amy Winehouse. I love Billie Eilish for sure. I think she has a really cool sound. Lana Del Rey, I love. Um, who else? I would say like definitely those are top three. Kalani, I don't know if you know who she is, but she's like an R&B
Yep.
singer. I
I've
like her
heard
a
the
lot.
name.
Yeah, she's cool. Um, as far as like bands, I really love um this band that is pretty off the radar, but um they're called Innerwave. They have like a psychedelic rock sound, which I
Don't think
really
I've
enjoy.
heard.
Yeah, I enjoy the psychedelic rock stuff. And then, yeah, so Innerwave, I love Tame Impala. I love Dayglow is really cool. I don't know if you've ever heard of them, but they're a cool band as well. Um,
I grew
yeah,
up on like
so
on punk bands, so
oh, okay, yeah. This is more like chill, like
no, but
psychedelic
I grew
rock,
up yeah, I grew
alternative.
up on like like Weezer and and shit like
What
that.
about like Led Zeppelin?
Yeah, Led Zeppelin.
Cool. There was
That's
actually,
a little I'm not that old, but
oh, okay.
I'm not that old.
Well, I actually just, for this song that I'm working on right now, we sampled a Led Zeppelin song. So
No,
that,
but like Blink 182, Newfound Glory, you know,
okay. Yeah, totally.
Jimmy Eat World. But
Cool.
yeah, so I thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah.
Where
Thank
can people
you.
find you on social media?
Yeah, yeah. So you can find me on Instagram at AO with Sundari or my nonprofit at Heal with Soma. And you can find more about my nonprofit at healwithsoma.com. And yeah, I think that's pretty much how to get in touch with me.
All right. Well, I appreciate you doing this. And
Yeah.
everyone, House of Soma, where's this at?
Oh yeah, it's in Hamul, California. So,
California. Okay.
yep, California. Any California listeners, come out and support
I
us.
actually do. I actually do. I know that's probably surprising from a
Really?
Florida. Yeah, I have listeners. Now I'm not going to tell you how many. It may not be a lot, but they're dispersed. They're dispersed like throughout.
Nice.
So yeah, I do have some California listeners. Usually it's like
Cool.
California, Pennsylvania, Florida, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's some California people. They should check it out. Um, so thanks again and take care, okay?
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right. Bye.
Bye.